Do not move to Hampstead, North Carolina. Seriously, if you're looking for your next home, maybe you should slam the brakes right now. This little coastal town just north of Wilmington, well, it may seem peaceful, it looks charming, but the reality is that Hampstead has some major problems. Stick with me because I'm going to share all the reasons that people regret moving to Hampstead, North Carolina. I'm Kevin Millard, a local real estate agent here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Before we dive in, make sure to grab my free relocation guide. It's in the description below, has a lot of great information, and I think you'll be glad to have it. Let's start with the elephant in the room, traffic. Hampstead looks like a quiet little town on the map, but Highway 17 runs straight through it, and that is the only road in and out. Morning commute into Wilmington, backed up. Evening commute heading north, stop and go for miles. It's like the whole town is crammed onto one stretch of asphalt. And yes, the state has been promising a bypass for years, and they're working on that. But if you've lived anywhere with planned construction, you know that promises don't always equal pavement. If you hate traffic, Hampstead will test your patience every day. Maybe you're thinking, okay, traffic's bad, but once I'm home, it's absolutely perfect, right? Well, let's talk about what's actually happening inside of Hampstead. Hampstead used to be a fishing town. Quiet, slow, simple, but not anymore. Today, it's one of the fastest growing places around Wilmington. Everywhere you look, there's a new neighborhood going up, there's new schools, new shopping centers, new roads. All that sounds great until you are the one dealing with the construction noise, the dust, and the traffic detours. That small town charm that people have come here for is becoming harder and harder to find every year. Also, the more people that move in, the busier everything gets. From grocery store parking lots to carpool lines at schools, it's something to consider. If this video is giving you the real scoop, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. That helps me get in front of more people that want to see this type of content. Now let's talk about the weather. Hampstead is coastal. Storms are part of the deal. And when hurricanes roll in, Hampstead is right on the path. That means boarding up windows, stocking generators, and sometimes evacuating entirely. And in between the storms, it's hot, it's humid. Summer feels sticky. It's like you're walking through some soup. And don't forget about pollen season. For a couple weeks every spring, everything will turn neon yellow. So your car, your porch, even your dog, covered in pollen. If you don't love storm prep, sweating through August, and vacuuming pollen out of your house every day, then Hampstead may not be your spot. Here's a hidden expense: flood insurance. Parts of Hampstead are low-lying, especially near the intercoastal waterway. So even if your house is never flooded, if it's in a flood zone, your bank is going to require insurance. And flood insurance is not cheap. It'll add thousands of dollars a year to your housing cost. So that affordable beach town lifestyle might not be as affordable as you think. Hampstead is growing, but it's still a small town. So if you want Target, Costco, or a mall, you're going to be driving into Wilmington. If you want restaurants, you'll find some good local spots, but the variety is limited compared to a bigger city. How about healthcare? There are a few local clinics, but major hospitals and specialists are still going to be closer to Wilmington. So if you want big city convenience at your doorstep, Hampstead may leave you disappointed. One of the biggest reasons people move to Hampstead is the schools. Yes, they are highly rated, but here's the catch. Growth has them bursting at the seams. You have overcrowded classrooms, you have portable trailers to hold extra students, and traffic jams every morning and afternoon during the drop-off and the pickup. With so many new neighborhoods popping up, it's a constant struggle for schools to try to keep up. So yes, schools are strong, but they're also strained. Let's be honest, there aren't many jobs in Hampstead itself. Most people commute into Wilmington, and some even drive up to Jacksonville. That means back to Highway 17, back to the bridge, and back to daily gridlock. So unless you work remote, your car can become a second home. By the way, if you're still considering Hampstead, make sure to download my free Wilmington relocation guide. It's packed with insider information about neighborhoods, schools, and hidden costs. The link is down below in the description. Now, let's talk about critters. Mosquitoes thrive in Hampstead's marshes. Sand gnats can bite your ankles at sunsets. Palmetto bugs, the giant roaches, they show up uninvited. And snakes, yes, if you live near the marsh, do not be surprised if one slithers across the yard. And yes, there are alligators. We don't see them that often, but they're not going to be in your backyard pool usually, but in ponds, creeks, and golf courses. So if you're squeamish, Hampstead life can be a little bit of a shock. Many of Hampstead's newer neighborhoods are HOA run. That means pools, gyms, and incredible landscaping. But it also means rules. You can't park your boat in the driveway, you can't paint your shutters a fun color that you like, and sometimes there are fines for leaving your trash can out too long. So these are all things to think about. If you hate being told what to do and what you can't do with your property, some Hampstead communities will drive you absolutely nuts. Hampstead is a mix of retirees and young families. That sounds great until you realize that their lifestyles don't always mesh. Retirees may want quiet, golf, pickleball, but families want playgrounds and youth sports and loud birthday parties. And sometimes those worlds collide. So depending on where you move, you might find yourself surrounded by neighbors with very different expectations. Hampstead used to be the affordable alternative to Wilmington, but that reputation is fading rather quickly. Prices are rising, insurance costs are high, and the land is not the bargain that it once was. So if you're moving here thinking you'll save big compared to Wilmington, you may be surprised at today's numbers. Healthcare is another factor. Yes, you can find primary care in Hampstead, but if you need specialists or if something serious happens, then you are going to head to Wilmington. That's fine for most people, but if healthcare access is a top priority, Hampstead's limited options could be frustrating. With all the growth, you would think the infrastructure would keep up, but not always. Road widening lags behind population growth. Internet access can be spotty in some areas, especially the older neighborhoods. And new construction sometimes put a strain on utilities. So if you're expecting big city infrastructure in a small town, Hampstead is just not there yet. Hampstead is laid back and southern. That's part of its charm. But if you're moving from New York, DC, or California, it can feel too slow. Businesses close earlier, nightlife is almost non-existent, and if you want concerts, art galleries, or pro sports, then you're going to be driving somewhere else. Some folks love the slower pace. Others go a little stir-crazy. Hampstead is booming, but with growth comes headaches. More cars on the road, schools are stretched thin, and services that just struggle to keep up. It's the classic growing pains of a town that's in transition. And you'll be living through all of that if you decide to move to Hampstead. Okay, so after all that, why do people still move to Hampstead? Because despite the traffic, the bugs, the hurricanes, it has a lot to offer. You're close to Topsail Beach, you can buy a bigger home with a bigger yard than what you'll find in Wilmington, and the schools are highly rated. Also, the community vibe is pretty family friendly. For the right person, it's the perfect balance. Coastal living without being right in the city. So don't move to Hampstead if you hate traffic, storms, or small town living. And don't move here if you need big city shopping and instant convenience. Finally, don't move here if mosquitoes, snakes, and hurricanes keep you up at night. But if you want good schools, access to the beach, and a growing community with room to breathe, Hampstead just might be the right fit. Thanks for watching. I'm Kevin with Living in Wilmington NC. I'll see you next time.